Hello there beauties, and welcome to today's pick a card reading with me, the high maintenance hippie. And in today's reading I want to look into how people view you. Now I feel I want to tap more into how love interests view you, maybe people who don't know you on that personal level yet, and I really want to see what their assumptions are of you. So if you want to tap into this juicy energy with me today and you want to find out how people view you, I need you to pick one of these three piles. Pile number 1 is the 10 of earth, pile number 2 is the tower, and pile number 3 is the 10 of water. I highly recommend that you go with your first gut instinct. Spirit is going to guide you towards the pile which has the most relevant information for you, and once you've chosen your pile, I shall see you in your reading. Hello there, wonderful pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out how people perceive you. And remember, this is like your love interests, people who don't really know you on that personal level yet. So we are looking at people's assumptions of you, whether those assumptions be right or wrong. So I do feel these are dragonflies in this 10 of earth card. Now the dragonfly does represent change. The dragonfly represents the changes that come with maturity. Now I feel I'm speaking to pile number 1s who have reached a position in life that's very, very, very different to where you started out. Now, when people grow and mature, there will always be a difference in where you are now from where you started out. But with you guys, I feel that there's a very drastic change, a very drastic difference. I feel that you're somebody who may tell stories about your past and maybe where you started out or the way that you used to be and the work that you've done to get to where you are today. I feel that you guys really do have a story when it comes to your journey to where you have reached today. There's something around that with you. So I don't know whether you tell these stories, whether you express like the lessons you've learned and how far you've came with people that you've just met. I don't know whether some of you maybe do talks on this. Maybe some of you are coaches or readers and you talk a lot about where you came from and where you are today, because there's something around that. So people really do look at you as somebody who's really got a very significant story to tell and somebody who has came very, very far from where they started out. I do feel that people naturally look at you in high regard. You have that leadership kind of energy. And in this 10 of earth card here, we have the Egyptian wings, and these are a symbolism of protection. So I feel you're very, very spiritually protected. I feel you're the kind of person where if somebody F's with you, they get instant karma, and it's very, very obvious that you have some kind of spiritual protection. I do also feel you may have a very strong friendship unit around you or a very strong family unit around you who protect you. I also feel that a lot of you may resonate with being protected financially as well. Now, the 10 of earth does represent finances, ancestral wealth. The 10 of earth is the 10 of pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. So again, you're looked to as somebody who is very successful in their own right, somebody who's very protected. I don't know whether people, regardless of your financial circumstances, I don't know whether people look at you as somebody who has came from a very wealthy family. They look at you as somebody who's got class. This transformation energy as well, the journey from where you were to where you are now is shown with this Pluto card. You really have transformed. I don't know whether you're somebody who is still in contact with people from your youth. If so, they may be like, wow, you're so different now. But I do want to say, for those of you who aren't in contact with people from your youth, if they met you now, they'd be like, wow, I do not recognize you at all because you've came so far. You've put so much work in, okay? Whether that be personally within you, whether that be externally when it comes to maybe career, business, finances, you're just so, so different now. Also, you come across as somebody who is very intelligent, somebody who's very logical with this Mercury card here. And I do feel you may have a very calming energy. Maybe you naturally calm people who are in your presence. There's like a lone wolf energy with you, even though I picked up on you having a very strong friendship unit, very strong family unit. There's either something about you being the leader of your unit in whatever way. Maybe you are head of the family. Maybe you are the people or the person that people look up to in your friendship group. Maybe you are a boss. Maybe you own your own business and you're a CEO, but people really look up to you for guidance. And there could be an energy around you where you have a lot of people around you, but you just give off this air that you don't need anybody, that you're very self-sufficient, very independent. You really give me this energy of somebody who's got a little bit of everything. Okay, you've got the story that goes along with your journey. It's inspirational. So you've got that bravery, you've got that passion, you've got that optimism, you've got that confidence to go for gold, to go for what you want. And you're also very, very smart. I do think you're somebody who's very good with words. I do think you're the kind of person who can talk your way into any situation and talk your way out of any situation. I do think you're very interesting as well. This really is an energy where people who don't know you on that personal level, obviously because this is what we're talking about today in this reading, genuinely think that you're a little bit kind of superhuman, maybe a little bit too good to be true. It's just giving me that energy. You know, I'm sure we all had somebody in school who was just Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. They were really smart, they were really good at athletics, they were really good looking. And I feel that you are that person. But because of this journey that you've been on, I don't think you were always that person. I don't know whether you've got a lot of Capricorn in your chart, because Capricorn is that energy that keeps on climbing. It's the goat. Well, it's a sea goat actually, but it's the goat that climbs from the bottom to the top. You are that person now that everybody would have looked up to in school as being Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. I do think when people first meet you, they definitely think that you're somebody that they want to hold on to. You're definitely somebody that they want to invest in, whatever those investments may be here, okay? But in a love situation, you are somebody that somebody would want to have on their arm, somebody that somebody would want to be with. People can see the value in you very, very early on. I do think a lot of people actually look at you as the perfect mother or father to their children too. I just think it's a genetic thing, and they just think, yeah, I like your intelligence, I like your passion, I like the way you look. I would love that, or a little bit of that in my offspring. But with this death card here, I do feel that a lot of people think that you're going to be somebody who's really hard to hold on to. And I do think because you are that perfect person, or as perfect as people can get, they think, wow, this person's got the pick of the bunch. This person could have whoever they want. Pile number one can literally have whoever they want. And I feel there's an energy of, wow, I could easily let pile number one slip through my fingers. And I do think there's another side to this as well, where people may reach a point, because you know when you meet somebody who's like super good looking and really successful, and you think, come on, there's gonna be a flaw there. I don't normally think this myself, but obviously, you know, some people do. Some people look for flaws in people who seem very perfect on the outside. I do watch a lot of videos on pretty privilege, because I feel that a lot of people who don't know much about pretty privilege, they just kind of assume that if you're pretty, you get the best in life. If you're pretty, everyone loves you, everyone laughs at your jokes, you get all the best jobs, and so on and so on. But I have this theory that that's not really the case, because I feel a lot of the time pretty people tend to naturally just get people not liking them for no reason. Just say you're a pretty person and you go for a job, and just say you're female who's pretty and you go for a job and it's a female person interviewing you. If there's any jealousy there, you're not getting the job because that person's naturally very jealous of you. So I feel that pretty privilege kind of is a thing and also kind of isn't a thing. And that's why I watch a lot of videos on it, because I'm really interested in the people who have my view on pretty privilege, that sometimes being pretty can be to your detriment. Don't ask why I'm so interested in it. I don't know. Sometimes I just get very focused in on certain things and I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in this now. So yeah, I've watched loads and loads of videos on pretty privilege. And now I've probably forgotten where I was in this reading. But okay, yeah, I think I know where I was. So you're amazing, you're perfect, but sometimes that can make people naturally feel very insecure around you. So when it comes to love interests, they may meet you for the first time, be completely overwhelmed, mesmerized by you, your beauty, your intelligence, and so on and so on. But they will think in their heads, there's gonna be a flaw, there's gonna be a flaw. But the longer they get to know you, the more dates they go on with you, and the deeper they get with you, they realize there ain't no flaws. No real flaws anyway, okay? Because we're all human and we're all imperfect in some kind of way. But when they realize, because a lot of people will be like, oh, look how pretty that person is. Bet they're not very nice though. Bet they're really up themselves though. And with you, I feel that people assume that there's going to be some kind of flaw related to you maybe being arrogant, maybe you're not so perfect without your makeup on, you know, things like this. Maybe you're actually not a very nice person underneath it all. And it will kind of balance out the scales where when they first meet you, they're like, wow, it's too much, it's so much, but I'm overwhelmed and mesmerized and I'm under your spell. And they think, oh, you know, maybe I'll be able to gain a little bit of power here at some point because I'm going to realize that part number one isn't so perfect. But the more they get to know you, the deeper they get with you, they realize, wow, part number one really is as intelligent as I first thought. They're as beautiful as I first thought. They are really lovely and really, really kind. And when you get further along with people, you start making them feel insecure. You start making them feel like they're not good enough. And it's not your fault. You just highlight the imperfections within them. And I think it's in those moments they start to think, wow, I can't handle part number one. Part number one can do better than me. Part number one surely can't look at me in as high a regard as I look at them. And that's when this kind of ending energy comes in, where people may push you away just because they have this automatic feeling that you're going to reject them at some point. And I think that can be a little bit confusing for your psyche at times, because I do feel my part number ones know that they're special. And I feel that you know that you're special because of the work that you've put into yourself. I feel if you're somebody who's worked on your appearance, your fitness, your health, your mental health, worked your $8 off at work, and you've become, you know, this powerhouse of success and beauty, you know, if you've worked for it, you know you are it, and that is fine. So when people reject you, people who are quite obviously haven't put in the work that you've put into yourself, it can be very, very confusing for your psyche. It can make you view yourself as lesser than you are sometimes. And I feel like I need to say for some part number ones, it's not because you're not enough for people, it's because they don't feel that they're enough for you. So remember that. Every time there's a rejection, every time somebody does you wrong, and this isn't completely relevant to what I'm saying, but I love this little clip of, is it Khloe Kardashian? I don't know much about the Kardashians. I know Kim Kardashian, Kourtney is the Aries, because I'm an Aries. And Khloe. So she says, I'm probably going to butcher this now, but she says, why do I always see the best in people, but they only ever see the best in me once they've seen the worst in, or when they've treated me the worst. I'm not saying it right. If I said it right, it would hit so hard, guys. It really would. But basically, she's saying, I always see the best in people, but they don't always see the best in me until they've hurt me. And maybe you guys can relate to that. I don't know whether you guys are very intuitive as well, because we do have the intuitive card here. But I feel you're intuitive in a very grounded way. So I won't be surprised if you guys have a lot of earth in your chart. So that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There could be a little bit of fire. Okay, Aries. I think I've mentioned Aries a few times today. I'm not too sure. Have I? I'm not too sure. I do have the King of Wands at the bottom of this deck, which is Aries. So I'm feeling Aries very strongly with you guys, but I'm going to throw Leo and Sag in there too. And also Scorpio. So I don't know whether there's some prominent earth, a bit of Aries and Scorpio in your chart. But there's an intuitiveness with you. There's like a psychicness with you, but it's more of a... Okay, how do I describe this? Because I'm just seeing somebody working with the earth. like your intuition could be with animals, your intuition could be with plants, trees. You could be very intuitive, but in a very grounded way. I don't feel this is like clairvoyance, you know, people speak to dead. That gives me lots of like Pisces energy there, because Pisces is up there. You can't see, but I'm up there in the heavens, where Aries energy and Pluto energy as well is down there in the ground, in the roots. So I feel your intuition is more of a rooted feeling. You feel other people's feelings. You know, if somebody's standing in a room with you, and I'm just kind of making this up just to kind of prove my point here, but if someone's standing in a room with you, you're going to feel their feelings run up through your feet and through your spine, and then you're going to know how they feel. That's how your psychic abilities work. Does that make sense? Where somebody with more of that up there energy, like in the heavens, like that Piscean energy, that Aquarius energy, it's going to come from up there. The psychic energy is going to come from up there. Okay, it just gives me more like kind of clairvoyance, channeling kind of energy. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's what I'm feeling for you. So yeah, this is a really good reading for you, pile number ones, because you are Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. You have so much success ahead of you. You will never stop climbing. You will never stop growing. So if you feel that you've reached your limit, you've not reached your limits. There is no limits with our pile number ones. You are pretty much as, like, I heard the word astounding come through. You're astounding. That's how people feel when they're in your presence. They're astounded by you. And they think, oh God, there must be some flaw. But you just keep on shocking them with how just, like, whole you are. You've got a lot of substance. Everyone wants you, but at the same time, there are people out there who want you to fail. But that's those people who don't believe they can reach your heights. And I do think everyone has it in them to reach the heights that you have. But it takes a certain person, it takes certain ingredients, and I'm getting astrological ingredients coming through here, but it takes certain astrological ingredients to be you. And you seem to have this mixture of fire, Scorpio, and earth that it just creates a deep understanding, what's the word I'm looking for? Determined, solid human being. And that's what you are, pile number one. And if anyone rejects you, or anybody just doesn't like you straight off the bat, it's jealousy. And haters are fuel. But, you know, haters are compliments in their own weird way. The people who are succeeding in life are the only people who are going to get haters. Actually, no, that's incorrect, because if you're nasty, you're going to get haters. But for you, you don't get haters because you're nasty. You get haters because they're just really, really, really jealous. But all you're doing is being an example of what they could be. And jealous people have the choice to sit in pity and be jealous of you, or use you as some kind of blueprint of what they could be. And I always say, if you meet somebody and you are feeling those feelings of jealousy, because we are all human, but if you meet somebody and you're feeling those feelings of jealousy, instead of being like, oh, I just don't like them, go up to them, praise them on what it is about them that you're jealous of, that thing that you want so badly, then ask them how they got it, or ask them how you can get that thing too. Because jealousy in human biology is a survival mechanism. It is there for you to go for what they've got. Go for what the person you're jealous of has got. That is the purpose of jealousy. But in this flouncy, wouncy, soft marshmallow world that we live in now, a lot of us have lost that drive to be better, to win, to survive, because we don't really have to survive in this world anymore. So when you're jealous, it's a cue for you to get what they've got, because you're viewing somebody who has a better chance of survival than you. Go up to them, make friends with them. And I don't need to tell you this, I don't think, part number one. I think we need to tell your haters this, but go up to them, befriend them, find out how they got to where they are, and just reach their heights. So this is a little awkward snippet that I've just clipped into this video because when I finished your reading, I realised there was a very specific message that I forgot to relay to you. So pile number ones, I do feel that there could be a house move coming in for you or some kind of change when it comes to home. And I feel like this is going to be something really positive, and I do feel this is going to be something a little bit unexpected. So I do want to say to you that in the moment where this change comes in, you may be really nervous. You may be like, oh my God, I don't know whether this is the right thing. I don't know whether this is a bad thing or a good thing, but it will evolve into something very positive for you and very good for you. So I just wanted to clip this in. Okay, so back to the reading. I'm going to leave that there, pile number one. I really hope this reading has helped in some way. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a like. It takes 2 seconds. Really helps the video circulating channel grow. Also, comment down below if you've got anything to say at all, and subscribe if you do like content like this. Really, really, really please help you push these videos out on YT, because YT is just not pushing them anymore. But yeah, take care of yourselves, beauties, and I shall speak to you soon. Goodbye. Hello there, pile number two. Let's see how people view you. That rhymes. Remember, we are looking into love interests, views of you, people who probably don't know you on a personal level yet, the assumptions they make, whether those assumptions are right or whether they're wrong. So let's start by saying this is such a powerful energy. Now, pile number one's energy was very powerful as well. So this tells me that the people who view this channel are very powerful, very unique. So I want to shout out to everybody who watches my channel. Hello, very, very, very special collective here. So you chose the Tower card, which tells me that when you come into somebody's life, you really rock their world. I think a lot of the time people aren't expecting you to be as, I don't know actually, because I think this could be a little bit different for everybody watching this, but whatever you bring to the table, people really aren't expecting that, and you really do shake things up. You shake people's worlds. People may be in a place where they're like, oh, I don't want to commit, and then they meet you and they're like, right, I'm committing. Right, this person is different. I also feel there's another side to this Tower card, and it makes me think that people don't expect you to have the kind of bite that you do. So it makes me think if people cross you, they better beware. All I can hear in my head is dun, 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 dun. You know, the Kendrick Lamar They Not Like Us beat. That's all I'm hearing. So it's making me think that you guys are a little bit like Kendricks. At times have been considered the underdog, and people just did not expect that bite. You are talented people. You are, I heard courageous, but you are talented people. You are charismatic people. Courageous wanted to come through too. And it's like you've got this shock factor to you. There's this element of you being the best of the best. There's something very smart and cunning about the way that you do things as well. So this seems very, very vague coming through, so maybe it'll make sense to you in some way. But you're very smart, you're very cunning. I do think you guys could work in the entertainment industry. You may not, but if you do, then you've got great showmanship is what's coming through. And I just heard life's a show. So even if you don't work in the entertainment industry, life is a show. You stand out from the crowd. Like, you are star energy, main character energy, pile number twos. And when you come into somebody's life, things change, perceptions change, people's like outlooks on their life change. As I mentioned previous, if somebody isn't looking to commit, they meet you and they are ready to commit. You just come in and you shake things up for people. So you've got a very intense, very, very powerful energy. And I absolutely love this for you. I do think people have the ability to project their desires onto you. So I don't know whether you have a lot of Cancerian energy in your chart. We've got Aquarius here. I also want to throw Pisces in there as well. But people tend to project their fantasies onto you. So I'm getting another element of this Tower card as well, where people are like, you are my perfect person, and they expect so much from you. And at times, sometimes you do have to like hit them with that tower, hit them with reality and be like, look, Maybe it's like okay, so let me try and explain this. So it's like people kind of make you become them, and you have to remind people that you are an individual. People could meet you and be like, oh my God, we have the same humor. Oh my God, we dress the same. Oh my God, yeah, me too, this, me too, that, me too, me too, me too. And you have to remind them that you are an individual. You are not an extension of them. You are you. I hope that makes sense in some way. I used to get it a lot in my younger years. I don't get it as much now, but people would meet me and they'd be like, wow, you're my soulmate, you're my everything, you are this and you are that. And do you know what's really interesting actually? And this has only just came to me right now. So my South Node is in the 7th house. So some of you may be watching this relating to either a South Node in the 7th house or a North Node in the 7th house. Okay, South Node will be like your earlier years, early half of life. North Node will be your later half of life. So you've either experienced this in your early life and you won't have it in your later life, or you haven't experienced this in your early life and you're only just started to experience this now in your later life. So the 7th house with my South Node in it. So the 7th house is the house that reflects your first house. Your first house is you. It is the house of self. And the 7th house reflects that. The 7th house is the house of partnerships. It's the part of your chart that you are least connected to. So just to explain this a little bit more specifically, my 7th house is in Cancer. Now I do have a Mars in Cancer, so I can connect to that Cancerian energy through my Mars, but just to keep this simple, that Cancer energy is the energy that's hardest for me to reach, hardest for me to integrate within myself. So because the 7th house is your reflection, this South Node being in my 7th house would mean that a lot of people would see me in my early years as their reflection. Wow, being with you is just like being with myself. Being with you is like looking in the mirror. Well, looking at you is like looking in the mirror. Oh my God, I like that too. Oh my God, we're so similar. We're the same. And then my North Node is in my 1st house. So now in my later years, nobody relates to me at all. I meet people, I'm like, wow, how do I not attract people as easily as I used to? Why do people not relate to me anymore? Why aren't people like, oh my God, you are me. Oh my God, you are my soulmate. It's because I've moved over into the house of self. I'm an individual now. The world sees me as an individual. But yeah, so I don't know whether this North Node, South Node thing relates to you. 1st, 7th house, North Node, South Node. Comment down below if you have a North Node or a South Node in the 7th house. So yeah, you guys could have a lot of people just being like, you're my soulmate. I've been on one date with you. You're my soulmate. I want you. And you have to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Hold up. Give me a moment to make my own decision. I am not you. I am me. What else do we have here? The moon with the North Node. I just feel that people naturally feel very comfortable with you. People naturally feel that they can tap into their emotions with you. You do have this very maternal energy, whether you're male or female watching this. And we've got the King of Pentacles here. And with this maternal energy, I would have liked the Queen of Pentacles to be here because it would have made a lot more sense. But I don't know whether people just... Oh, is it you taking control, but it's in a maternal way? Do people feel like they need you? Like you're a little bit like a comfort blanket? You're a little bit like a teddy? And that's how people get really attached to you really easily. And some people watching this who don't relate to this energy, and if you don't relate to this energy, you're probably not watching it, so it's probably pointless me saying it in that way, but you're like, well, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a positive thing? Isn't that a nice thing? I'd love it for somebody to be attached to me, see me as a comfort, but I feel for you guys, it's more so the energy of all these people are attaching to me, but I don't want them to attach to me. Like I want my person to attach to me. I want my soulmate to attach to me, but I'm getting randomers who I have no interest in attached to me. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? So you could meet love interests, date, and so on and so on. and everyone wants another date. Everyone wants to see you again. Everyone's interested in you. So where a normal person would be searching and searching and searching and going on multiple dates just to find one person who's like this towards them, you actually may push away dates. You actually may really limit the amount of dates you go on just because you have people attaching to you. And I do feel this can be very draining on your energy at times. And that's why you have to be this tower energy. With this Uranus energy as well, these two energies are shock surprises. You have to come in and kind of like shake things up to shake people off you. Also, I'm seeing here that you are somebody who is very secure within yourself. This could be financially, this could be, you know, very comfortable in your body. We've got Venus at the bottom of the astro deck here too. Ooh, and Mars there as well. Okay, I feel on the outside you're like Venus. So on the outside, you're pretty, beautiful, attractive, magnetic, everyone's type, everyone's ideal. But underneath this Venus, you're actually Mars. You're a lot more individualistic. You're a lot more kind of tough and sharp as what you make out on the outside. And I feel that people come in, love interests, come in and they just want you to be that good girl or good boy, Venus. Be everything that I've always wanted in a partner, pile 2. Just be this perfect Venusian person for me, pile 2. And this Mars energy, this Uranus energy, this Tower energy comes out and you're like, I can't be everything you want me to be. So yeah, everyone wants you because you have something they want, but you can't be that for people. Because you have to be true to yourself and you have to be you. Okay, money here as well. I don't know whether you've got a lot of money. Got the 10 of Pentacles, which talks about wealth. The King of Pentacles, which is the wealthy king. We've got money here too. Are you rich AF? Because that's coming out really, really strongly here for you. I also want to say, if you're watching this and you're like, no, I'm not resonating with the wealth part of this, I do feel an opportunity will arise to increase your finances, like this money card says. I really want to say, beware if you do come into money pile 2. Beware. Be really picky. Be really particular about the people that you let into your life. I really want to say, pile number 2, if you come into a lot of money, I do feel that you need to only date these King of Pentacles. Only date people who match your energy, people who have the determination to make the money, or the people who've already made the money. Okay. I want to pull a few more cards from the Everyday Oracle, which is a deck by me, the High Maintenance Hippie. It's on sale now at my Etsy store, which will be linked in the description box down below. See if there's any more information for you. Pile number 2. Yeah, people's first impressions of you are that you're really goal orientated. You're very successful. That you are everybody's ideal. What else do we have? Okay. Create. Art lives within you. A creative endeavor could bring joy or increase your bank balance. I do feel for some of you that could be a message. There could be something creative that you're involved in, or you want to become involved in. There's sunglasses here, which makes me think of fashion. There's a camera here that makes me think of photography. We've got a lot of flowers here too, so it could be something to do with florals, floristry. Is that a word? Floristry. I think it is actually, isn't it? And peace. Your soul seeks peace. Any chaos will illuminate that which inhibits it. And divert. Your energy is great, although a diversion may be necessary for better results. So this is telling me 2 things. One, I'm going to clarify what I said previously. You have to be very, very careful about the people that you let into your life, pile number 2, because people will take advantage of you. It's less so in a using way. It could be if money is a factor here, but it's more so in a way that people don't see the real you. People are just seeing this reflection of their fantasies, or this projection of their fantasies. Is actually what I meant to say there. And when you show your real self, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way, your real self is somebody who is very determined, somebody who is very exciting, somebody who is very caring. But when people see that, they may try to punish you for it because you're not living up to their fantastical projections. And that's not fair on you. And this is just an energy that you carry around with you. You carry around this energy where you, I don't know whether I keep stuttering today, guys. I don't know whether anybody has ever watched Red Dwarf. It was a comedy in the UK. I don't know whether it was aired anywhere else in the world. But there was this particular alien that came aboard the ship, and this alien was the projection of your deepest fantasies. So when this alien was around each of the crew members saw their deepest fantasy, a woman, because all of these crew members are men, a woman who was their ideal physical type, a woman who was their ideal intellectual and emotional type. And then in the end, all the crew members got together and were like, oh my God, she's amazing. Oh my God, she's this. Oh my God, she's that. And one of the crew members is a robot. So he's talking about her like she's a robot, and everyone's like, she's not a robot. I may be completely butchering this explanation, but she's not a robot. And they're like, wait a minute, she's got blonde hair. She's human. No, she's not. She's got dark hair. She's part of the cat species because one of the crew members is a cat species. Not a cat, but evolved from cats. That's the whole. Anyways, whatever. So they realize that this is an alien that in reality has a different form, but it will change its form to appeal to the person who's around it. So it's a little bit like you, but you don't do it purposely. All right. And when you don't live up to that person's projection, people can just be really like, it's like they're expecting you to sacrifice your independence. And that's why you are the one who has to be so fucking picky when it comes to the person that you choose to spend the rest of your life with. So picky, because you could have anybody, part number 2, anybody. And I mean that. So you have to be very, very picky here. And I also feel this diversion energy can talk about projects that are going to make you money as well. Something about your energy is amazing. You've got the right minerals, but you're being asked to divert it in a direction that will get you this long-lasting generational wealth. Because there's wealth in your energy, there's success in your energy. I just think at the moment, for some of you, you may need to divert the energy that you have into a particular direction to get the outcomes that you want. And that's talking to people who relate with maybe not being where they want to be in life yet. You have everything within you to get exactly what you want. I'm just going to check the bottom of the deck. Ancestor and spirit is protecting you and trying to send you guidance. You have got protection in spirit right now. You may know this. You may know like, oh yeah, I know I can feel my grandparents, or I can feel my mother in spirit, and so on and so on. Or some of you may not really be connected to that point to be sure that there's an ancestor in spirit that walks with you, but I'm here to clarify there is an ancestor in spirit that walks with you, send you messages, guidance through synchronicities, maybe dreams as well. So just acknowledge that ancestor if you feel them in your energy, because they are still with you at the moment and they are helping you get to where you need to be. Okay? They're helping guide you when it comes to love. They're helping to guide you when it comes to career and finances as well, because they really believe in you and they want the best for you, because you are a soul that is pure and deserves the best. But yeah, that's all I'm getting for you, pile number 2. I really hope this helps in some way. If it did, please drop me a like, comment down below if you got anything to say at all. Comment down below if you resonate with that 1st house and 7th house north node and south node. All right. And subscribe if you like content like this, because it really helps me know that you want me to make more videos like this for you. So take care of yourselves, beauties, and I shall speak to you soon. Goodbye. Hello there, beautiful pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's have a look and see how people view you. And remember, we are looking into how love interests view you. Those people who don't really know you on a personal level yet, their assumptions, or whether those assumptions are right or wrong. So you chose the 10 of water, which is the 10 of cups in the traditional tarot deck. And what I noticed about this card in particular is we do have the moon here, but we have fire surrounding the moon. So this tells me that you could have a fire moon, meaning your moon could be in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But if not, I feel that you are somebody who really seeks adventure in relationships. You are somebody who really wears your heart on your sleeve, is actually what I'm getting. Like, you're very brave when it comes to expressing how you feel about somebody, and I think a lot of people really admire this trait in you, and you take away a lot of guesswork when it comes to relationships and a lot of the confusion. I do feel the people who won't be too happy with your openness when it comes to your feelings are game players in general. So you really do protect yourself by being this way, because the people that fall away are the people that were looking to manipulate you, and it's very hard to manipulate you when you are somebody who is so open, expressive. Like, you're able to see through the BS very easily because you are a no BS kind of person. But the good people, the authentic people, will be really drawn to you and will really appreciate your style when it comes to the way that you express your emotions. Now, I'm also getting here that you are somebody who is very physically attractive. You could be somebody who's really into health, fitness, nutrition. You could be somebody who goes to the gym religiously. But if not, don't worry. You are somebody who's very naturally beautiful. You could be somebody who has a very natural, symmetrical face. You could be somebody who naturally has very nice, shiny hair. You are just gifted with beauty. There's also something about your body as well. If you're a masculine, maybe you're somebody who builds muscle really easily. If you're a feminine, you have the ideal body shape, the ideal body type. There's just something very alluring about the way that you look. And I don't think you've always been confident about your physical appearance. You could be somebody where in your younger years, you had a body part, or you just weren't very in touch with how beautiful you actually are and were. And in your later years, I feel that you're starting to appreciate certain elements about your physical appearance more. But I do feel there's this little insecurity ingrained within you that pushes you to really look after yourself. So if you were somebody who was like a little bit bigger maybe in your childhood and you didn't really see your own beauty, you may have really hit the gym hard when you were 16 and you could sign up to the gym. And it's this insecurity that you once had that really fuels your determination to be the best version that you can be very physically. So yeah, you are attractive, but other people notice that attractiveness in you. You could give like very Greek god, Greek goddess kind of vibes. And I just keep hearing the word, and I didn't want to say it because I felt like it was a little bit cliche and a little bit much, but I keep hearing the word perfection, perfection, perfection. Okay, so yeah, physically you are perfection is what I'm getting. And really interestingly, I got these two cards here, the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, in pile number 2. And we also had the Ten of Pentacles as the leading card in pile number 1. So this Ten of Pentacles has came out in every single reading today in some way or form. So this does tell me that you have a natural class. You just exude wealth. You are very solid. You are very stable on your own. So there is an energy that you give off where you don't really need anybody, whether that be true or whether that be false. Now, this also tells me that my collective, the YouTube collective that watches my videos, you guys are just pure value. Like, you're so valuable. Like, you're like the best of the best. Guys, you're the best of the best. You are the top tier people. And yeah, it's came through in pile number 3 as well. You are top tier. You are the person that everybody wants. And I think you work really, really hard on yourself. And this could be specifically like health and fitness. But because you work so much, because you work so hard on yourself, because you put in a lot of effort to be the person that you are today, because you've worked really hard on growing yourself, in whatever way that may be. For some of you, it may literally be growing your muscles. This could be like bodybuilding or something like that. You expect other people to put in that much work on themselves and put in that much work when it comes to your connections. So you do come across as somebody who is expecting work. It's giving me Kelly Rowland work. I do think for those of you who don't work in an industry with a connection to health, nutrition, and fitness, I do think you guys could be really successful in one of those careers. If there's anybody watching this and you're thinking about switching lanes, changing careers, maybe look into nutrition, health, and fitness in some kind of way. This could even be mental health as well. I do feel with this poll, some of you may have had to work through some mental health issues, maybe body dysmorphia for some of you, just because we do have the Six of Swords here at the bottom of the deck, and I've just noticed that the Three of Swords is underneath the Six of Swords. So you guys have had to heal something within yourselves. I'm even getting some of you may have had to heal health issues within yourselves as well. So you guys are good when it comes to physical healing and health. Some of you may be doctors, some of you may be nurses, and so on too. So you have the gift of healing, but it's more so like that physical body, that physical vessel. And I do think people see that in you very early on. And I do think you are the type of person where if somebody has one conversation with you, they can learn a lot about themselves, their body, their health, fitness, nutrition, and stuff like that. There's something about you being very valuable in the way of information. So you may have been on dates and you've helped people understand their bodies, you've helped people potentially lose weight and things like that. That's something that's coming through here. But you guys definitely come across as somebody who's very confident. I'm even getting a little bit, and I don't think this is going to come across to everybody that you first meet, but I do feel for some of you, you may come across as being a little bit arrogant or a little bit cocky. I feel like a very giggly energy around this, so I don't feel like this is a negative in any way, but I do think some people, and it's on them, it's not on you, because I don't feel that you mean to come across this way, but because you are so sure of yourself, because you work so hard for everything you have, at times you may, no, I don't even want to say it in this way, because the words I'm using makes it sound like a bad thing, and it's not. I just think if somebody says something like, God, you're so fit, or God, you're so good looking, or something like that, sometimes depending on the circumstances, maybe depending on how many drinks you've had, you may say, yeah, I know. And that's not in like a, yeah, I know kind of way at all. It's you just being like, yeah, I go to the gym 6 days a week. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I run most evenings after work. Or yeah, I eat really healthily. Like I don't let cakes even pass my lips, even on Christmas kind of thing. So you're like, yeah, I know. But it's not because you're being arrogant, it's because you know how hard you work for what you've got. And I think for some of you it could even be because some of you may have had cosmetic surgery even, and you're like, yeah, I know, because I've paid a lot of money for this. Like I paid a lot of money for this nose job or something like that. Okay, so you do come across as being very confident, right? You're seen as somebody who stands up straight, walks in a room, you know yourself. But some people may take it as arrogance. And I want to say to those people who think you're arrogant, screw them. Stick the middle finger up to them. Just whatever, water off a duck's back. But you do embody pure love. You are the kind of person that people feel they can fall in love with. I'm also getting something coming through saying you have the life that I love. Could have some coaches here as well, you know, whether that be physical coaches, sports coaches, or mental health coaches. But there's something about you, the way that you live. People just fall in love with your lifestyle. People fall in love with your mindset. And I think a lot of people want to reflect you. I think a lot of people want to be like you, be you, follow how you live your life, because they really do look up to you. People look up to you. I've got rejection coming through under this reflection card, and that's standing out to me. I feel like I need to mention it in some way. I think you are the person who can prop people up who have been through rejection. You're the kind of person who can prop people up when people have rejected themselves. You have a way of getting through to people who are struggling a little bit. You just have this natural healing energy, and with this like fire energy coming through with the moon, you intuitively know what to say to motivate people, to get people out of dark places. A lot of people who enter your life, and this is a very spiritual thing for you, a lot of people who enter your life will be wounded. A lot of people who enter your life will be confused, lost, feel like they're walking around in the dark. I'm just getting the moon card coming up in tarot now. And the moon card can talk about fears. It can talk about confusion. It can talk about feeling like you don't have clarity. And you come into a lot of people's lives on a spiritual basis, a little bit like a guardian angel on earth, and you show people the light. You show people the way. You remind people of who they are and what they want out of life, and so on and so on. There's just something very, very powerful about you. You are extremely, extremely valuable to people, pile number 3. And people know this. You are the kind of person where if somebody fumbles the bag with you, if somebody lets you slip through their fingers, they feel the deficit when you're not around. They feel the deficit when you're gone. And I do think you are the type of person where people could take advantage of you in the way that they don't realise what they've got until it's gone with you. When you're in their lives, when you're propping them up, when you're supporting them, when you're being this motivational energy in their lives, they may take it for granted and not realize that you are the crutch that is holding them up. You are the person that is building them up and keeping them solid and stable. When you leave, they have tower moments. They fall apart at the seams. And then they realize that without your guidance, they're back in that moon energy. They're lost again. So just know, pile number 3s, your exes regret it. They really regret it. For some of you, that may bring you some solace. For some of you, it may not. But just know, they regret it and they feel it. And there may be some exes who don't communicate this, but just know, they feel it. Let's have a look and see what else wants to come out here. Loss, as I cut the deck. Their growth doesn't continue when you leave. And for the right person who's, you know, a good, authentic human being, they will take, my voice sounded a bit funny then, they'll take notes when it comes to your advice. They'll take notes when it comes to, yeah, your advice and the direction you're pushing people in. So whether you're there or not, they're still on that journey to success and growth. But for those who take it for granted and just like, yeah, part number 3, always going to be there, bleh. You know, those kind of people, they don't take the valuable nuggets of information whilst it's there. You know those people who think you're arrogant? Guess what? They're actually the arrogant ones. They're projecting that onto you. You're not arrogant. They are. So anybody who shows any signs of insinuating you have any arrogance in any way, that is a sign that they are actually that thing. I actually think this is a universal thing. If anybody projects anything negative onto you, it's actually them who harbours that thing within themselves. Okay, also, gold. Lots and lots of gold in your energy. So I won't be surprised if you've got a little bit of a gold aura, you know, a little smidgen of gold in your aura, you know. Yeah, even on this 6 of Swords, it's like that same shade of kind of gold, yellow. Very interesting. Lots of gold here. You are gold, gold. Always believe in your soul. To know you're indestructible. So I'm so bad at singing at the moment. Always believe in you are gold, gold. Come on, everyone sing along with me. Right, what else we got? That is so cringy. When I put this into my little editing doodah, I'm going to cringe so hard listening back to that. Oh my goodness gracious. Give. You are a giver. You give and you give and you give. Pile number 3. What else? Oh, I thought I had a flipper, but I don't. Fame. You're being noticed now. It's time to showcase yourself. Like, you just stand out from the crowd because you are gold. Right. And young man. Don't know whether you guys attract people who are younger than you. I also feel you may look younger than you actually are as well. Solar plexus talks about confidence too. So yeah, you've got this famous energy, this energy that stands out. and people see that in you, you're just very special. And the reason I feel that God kind of wants to put you on a pedestal, put you on a stage for everybody to see and hear, is because you are so valuable to so many, and you are so loving, you are so giving to so many. And I don't know whether this young man energy is kind of like a signal to say maybe what you can give may be very valuable for young men. That might be for everybody, but like maybe if you're good at health and fitness and nutrition, maybe you'd do really well if you kind of focus that on young men being your clientele. Doesn't have to be. It could just be that you guys attract young men. What is that? I'm gonna actually ask, why is young man here, please? Cleanse. I'm sure I got cleanse at the bottom of the deck, or was that the last? Or was that the last pile? I think it was the last pile, but cleanse. You may be out of balance or holding on to negative energy. Meditate, ground, and pray. Yeah, I don't know whether it's just something about your skills, your healing, that really helps young men in particular in some way. And obviously you'll know what your gifts are better than I do. But yeah, interesting. So I'm going to leave that there. Pile number 3. I really hope this helps in some way. If it did, please drop me a like, comment down below if you get anything to say at all. And also subscribe if you do like content like this. It lets me know that you want me to make more of it. So yeah, take care of yourselves, beauties, and I shall speak to you soon. Goodbye.